What's up, you guys? Hope everybody's doing okay. Today we're going to continue the series on the Ford Tri-Power rebuild. And on the first video, I kind of went over the chem dip and disassembly, and it did a pretty good job of cleaning the carbs, but you know, curiosity got the best of me, and I just decided to get these vapor blasted, just like the intake. And they came out really nice. Check this out. Just super clean. Very nice. And all the vapor blast is just high pressured water mixed with sand. Check that out. And it leaves it like a clean satin finish. You just have to be careful to make sure that you get rid of all the sand, of course. You really don't want any sand left behind. So just be really careful with that. But these came out super nice. Here's the metering block. Way more than the chem dip, I think, can do. Here's carburetor number 2. Same. And because it is water, it will flash rust. So you got to be careful with that, of course. Here's number 3. For this carburetor, I used actually for all of them, I used a anti-corrosion oil. And it's kind of my fault. I didn't wait until it was completely dry. So there's some streaks on there, but you can remove that easily. But came out super clean. Yeah. Vapor blast. Check it out, you guys. Works really well on the aluminum parts. And before I start, I kind of just want to go over some of the parts that I had to buy in order to start the rebuild. I got all these from Allstate Carburetor. The website's super easy to use, and the shipping was really fast. So, very nice experience with them. Ended up getting a lot of screws actually. These are the ones that were staked on the blades, so I have to get new ones, of course. The base plate screws, they always tend to get stripped, so most of mine got stripped. So got some new one of those, some gas filters, new springs. Some of these were just deteriorated, they crumbled when I took them out of the fuel bowl, so just decided to get all of them. This is the sight plug for the side, but they're like a plastic, so you can look at the fuel level without spilling any gas. So pretty cool. And I bought the rebuild kit, the actual gasket kit from Daytona Parts. So I talked to them on the phone a couple times, and really cool people. And the kit is pretty extensive. It also comes with a sort of instruction sheet, or a diagram I should say, of how it should be put back together. So this is going to be really helpful. This is all the stuff it comes with. Some 3 base gaskets. We've got, looks like a ruler to set the flow. It's pretty cool. We've got some non-stick gaskets. Very nice. We've got the diaphragms here. I think that's what they're called. I don't know some of the names of these parts. I think this diagram that they include is really helpful because it has the number next to the parts, and then it has the name right here. So throughout the video, I'm going to really try and use this so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So we got the air filter gaskets, some more base gaskets here. Power valves, of course, only the middle one uses it. We've got the needle and seat, and I believe this is a 0.110. Yes, 0.110. So a little intimidating, not gonna lie. There's a lot of parts that will have to go in the correct way, but you know, just doing your research before you start, and that's gonna help you out a lot. That's why I bought one of these books here, Rebuild a Holley Carburetor. And this just talks about a lot of the problems that you might have, or a lot of things to look out for, some useful tips. So this is what I'm going to be using to help me with the carburetor rebuild. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so the way that I decided to do this, I think the easiest way is just to do it by parts. So we're going to start out with the fuel bowl, we're going to finish that, and then we'll head on to everything else. So let's start out with the fuel bowl. So let's get to the pump diaphragm assembly, and they want a 0.011th to a 0.015th of an inch of clearance between this check ball and that little bar. Quick note, I tried to find several feeler gauges and none of them fit in this little area here. I tried to order these mini feeler gauges, but these don't fit. It took me about 2 weeks to get these in, so that's why I'm kind of behind on this video. Check that out, it doesn't fit. They're kind of really hard to find. I haven't been able to find them, and it's just taking way too much time. So I really think it's no problem. It'll be within spec. Put some air in there to make sure it's not stuck. So let's just put it together, and this is gonna go like so with the spring here. Oops, let's not drop the parts. I'm gonna put the cover on it just like so. I polished some of these a little bit. I didn't get new ones. I thought these were fine, the bolts, the little screws. So there you go. Alright, let's flip it over, and we're actually gonna do this upside down like so. That way we can do a dry flow adjustment, or a float level. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the baffle plate like so. There you go. And then we're gonna put the fuel inlet valve and seat assembly, which is this part right here. I had some really good tips about installing these, and you put a little bit of electrical grease right here. That way they won't wear out. So we're gonna do that. All right, I'm just gonna put just a little bit. It's probably too much. I don't want to put too much of this stuff. I think that should cover it. And before you install this, on the manual there's like a little gasket that goes before you put it in the hole. Check that out. So right here, level number 49, tiny little gasket that goes in there, and that's called the idle needle seat, or the fuel valve seat, O-ring seal, or gasket. Check the kit. Mine didn't come with the O-ring seal, it just has a little gasket. So we're gonna install that, so don't forget about that. So let's put this in. So I checked my kit a couple times, and for some reason it didn't come with the little gasket that goes in here, or an O-ring. Not sure why that's the reason, but I have this O-ring here. We're gonna use that, so it should work nicely. Just bought a little box that has a bunch of them, so this should work. And it's supposed to go in a little pocket in here, so you'll see right now. And there you go. Check that out. Perfect. So now we're gonna put the valve here. Just be careful. you go. There's also another gasket that goes right here before this nut. So let's do that. There you go. We'll do our adjustments when we have the float in here. So let's put the float in. Here's your spring. Check out this little mini C-clip. There you go. I sort of just push it in there. I don't think I have that small of a pliers to do that. But I just pushed it in there and it got in there pretty nice. So there you go. There's our float. Pretty nice. So now we gotta adjust it. My understanding is that this little line, this little point here, has to sort of be like that. So we're gonna check the book out a little bit and see how the adjustment is made. Okay, so I kind of jumped the gun here. I have to adjust this right here until the solder mark is pretty much right there, level with the edge of the window here, just like so. So let me adjust this and it should be good to go. So there you go. The solder mark is right at the edge of that window. And this is the initial dry setting of the carburetor. And then you can adjust it when it's in the car idling by looking at the window. So let's continue. So now we're gonna put the rest of the easy parts, the exterior parts, and that includes the plastic sight bowl, the view plug. So it says it's temporary, but I've heard of some people leaving these on and they have no problems. So we lubed it up a little bit. And this is gonna go right here, like so. And that's it. Awesome. Let's put the fuel inlet. Okay. I bought the little fuel filters for the inlet here. I'm just wondering if this will like impede with the flow, you know? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I could easily take this off, but I'm gonna install it for now. But that's my only concern with this thing. And there you go. We're gonna tighten that up. Perfect. And there you go. I think that concludes the fuel bowl. Now it's ready to get it with the center block, metering block. So let's do that. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna get to the metering block. And I took the jets out just to clean them out a little bit. And just be careful when you're taking them out. You really want your flathead to cover the whole slot here, or else it'll start to chip away, just like mine started to. So just make sure you have a wide flat blade. This one's a 5/16, and that should do the trick. So I took those out, I just cleaned them out, and then right now I'm just cleaning out the idle needles here, and you got to make sure that's pretty clean as well. And we just put the little cork gasket in here. There you go. And some compressed air I think is really important when you're rebuilding carbs. You really don't want any particles blocking the passages. Alright, so now we're ready for the gasket. For this gasket, it looks like it's all the same. On the instructions, there is a picture of that little accelerated pump passage, but these gaskets come with both sides already holed. So I'm gonna put that on like so. And here's that little passage I was talking about. There you go. So I'm just gonna put this like a sandwich together. And there you go. We're gonna put it to the body now. Just want to make sure that it's clean, so I'm gonna air it out, and then I'll put it together. The other gasket. Check this out. So I just took the pump discharge nozzle off, and check that out. It's full of sand. So that's why you got to be careful and, you know, take it apart with the vapor blast. Make sure everything's clean. So we're gonna just clean it out and put some new gaskets, and then that should be it for the body. Easy. All right, it's time to put the gasket together, put the both fuel bowl and the body together. So I was trying to figure out about the differences of this gasket. I know there's different kinds, different carburetors, and then, you know, you can go either way like that. But some really cool feature that the new gaskets have, or I don't know if the old gaskets had them too, is that it only fits one way. Check that out. So it won't fit this way. It only fits one way. So this is how the gasket's supposed to go. Just put it on the metering block here, and all we're gonna do is just sandwich it together. And there you go. Now we have to get the screws and bolt everything down. So let's do that really quick. Here it is, fuel bowl and the metering block with the body all attached. It's starting to look like a carburetor. Super cool. Last thing to do now is the bottom here, and should be pretty quick, so let's do that. All right, here's the bottom plate, and I just spent a couple hours trying to make all this work. My piece was pretty much frozen. It didn't want to move, so I took out the whole shaft. It's pretty easy, just pull it out. I kind of had to put some of this PB blaster stuff just to try to get it free. When I cleaned it up, put everything back together, the blades were hitting the wall here, the circles. So all I did was I sanded it a little bit, and then I polished it just enough so that it, you know, wouldn't catch when it opened and closes. So it works pretty good now. It's pretty much perfect. And all I did was put some Loctite on the back, and it's ready to go. I could just imagine 3 of these opening up at the same time. That's just crazy. So let's put this to the body, and then it should be it. And the kit that I bought, it actually came with 2 types of gaskets for the bottom. The only difference I could see is that one of them has extra 2 holes right here, and this one doesn't. And I don't think these ones use those 2 holes, so we're just gonna go with the ones that are blocked off, just like so. So let's put it on. All right, check it out. We are all done. Carburetor is ready to go. Super awesome. Ford Tri-Power for the FE. I know this video took me quite some time to do, but I just didn't really want to rush, you know, the rebuild, and I was waiting for parts. And yeah, I just don't want to rush this type of stuff. I just wanted to make sure it was done right, and hopefully this video helps out a lot of people that plan on rebuilding their carburetor. You know, it's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. It's actually a lot easier if you just take the time to look at the manual, look at the books, look at the videos. So I hope this video is helpful to a lot of you guys out there that plan to do the same thing. I feel like there's not a better feeling than rebuilding your own stuff and, you know, driving to the car show with something that you rebuilt yourself. So there you go. Probably next video I'll show me rebuilding the other 2 carburetors kind of fast, and then I'll just show how the whole linkage is set up. But that's it. If you guys like the content, you guys like the videos, please subscribe and follow the Galaxy build. And you guys have any questions, please comment. But there you go. Thanks, guys.